The only thing I knew about this game going into it was there are a lot of zombies, and it was supposed to be hard. That was an understatement. One zombie or 100 zombies, they're still zombies, and they're very deadly. So before I did anything, I thought it would be a good idea to just look at what I had in the house. Weapons, food, maybe some water. One thing there is not a shortage of are zombies. They are everywhere. They are dangerous. They are a lot quicker than they should be. But for me, they're not that hard. And to make the situation that much better, they had a gun! They had a pistol! Unfortunately, my celebrating seemed to bring some attention. But much like the first couple zombies, that one was dispatched quickly. Just make sure you lock your doors and close your curtains on your windows. It's not that hard, and it will literally save you everything. A prime example of this, I should have closed this window, or I should have closed this curtain earlier, because now they know I'm here. So I snuck away from that area as quickly as I could, but I took my time and I eventually found this building. Now, I wasn't quite sure what it was at first, but I knew it was big and that meant there was potential for loot. And potential for good loot. But that'll have to come tomorrow. I unfortunately only slept about 4 hours, 4.5 hours, and I was still pretty tired, but I was hungry and it was time to eat. So we found that the power was still on, and that meant this microwave over here was available to use. So we absolutely cranked it to the max, turned it on for about 60 seconds, and we waited. After it was finally done, I decided it would be a very good idea to go figure out where I actually broke into last night. But I was still very tired, so after I ate this amazing bowl of beans, I decided that just as quickly as it showed up, day 2 was now over. Now, I didn't know it when I woke up, but day 3 was going to be a good day. We slept for a while. We woke up pretty late though. It was 2 in the morning. But we got some water and we went out to look for loot. Thankfully, it wasn't too long until we found our first little bit of food. Without knowing what to expect, I decided to go upstairs because I figured if there was going to be any loot that was unsearched, it would be upstairs. And boy, was I right. The halls were full of lockers that had a very wide variety of loot. But the one thing that I got out of all these lockers that helped me out the most was this. This very school bag was genuinely such an improvement. I could carry so much more stuff now. I could legitimately carry so much more stuff. With the first section of lockers done, or at least looted pretty thoroughly, I decided to go look in some of the classrooms because they might have some stuff. At least I think they're classrooms. So after I looted that room, I went into the hallway and I was going to take off some of my armor because it was kind of getting hot and my character was getting hot. But I guess we found there was a little friend in that room. So we had to remove of that little friend. So I looted more of those rooms from before. Basically, there was the exact same layout with just different loot. But it was actually kind of similar loot, so it was kind of a waste of time. And after I looked around for a little bit longer, I found the roof. And there were lots of zombies outside. But something good did happen. Look what I found. So I dropped everything that I was doing, and I scrambled to try to open this door, which I didn't realize I couldn't open while I was sprinting towards it. I needed to get downstairs before the dude got away. It was already the middle of day 3, and I haven't seen anybody yet, so I don't know how many people are still left. But I gotta find this guy before he gets eaten. After looking for a minute, we found Survivor Richard, who we immediately invited to our group, because now we have someone to fight the zombies with. I didn't know how to use the Survivor AI too well, or the UI too well, so it took me a minute to figure out what to do. But once we figured that out, we continued to explore. But yet again, the zombies have found us. But Richard was too worried about the windows, and he fell over. And when I say there were lots of zombies, there really wasn't a lot of them, but there was a lot of them when one bite's all it takes. So I told Richard to help me, and you know what he did? You know what Richard did to help? He pushed one zombie, hit another one, and then ran! He ran away! I had to fight the zombies all by myself, and Richard didn't help at all. All this fighting against the zombies is starting to make me weak. I'm tired, I'm thirsty, it's hot out here, I'm stressed. It is not going too good in the apocalypse right now. Unfortunately, I couldn't find Richard, and things were only about to get worse. No backup. I had a gun, but it was not very good with accuracy, so it was going to be a very difficult situation with all of the zombies you were about to see. I really don't know why I did it, but I decided to call out for Richard in hopes that he would come back, but I didn't realize that there were that many zombies over there, and it's really not good, but my location was known. I'm tired, I'm thirsty like I said before. I gotta get out of here before the zombies overwhelm this building. And then I found this guy, Campbell, who was in this building somewhere the whole time, and I just never found him. So after I recruited Campbell, we decided to go loot some more of the building we were in. And it looks like I found the cafeteria, which had a few zombies in here. Also, Campbell has a gun, so that's going to be really good for protection. Hopefully they had food, because I was running out of food very quickly. And now that I had Campbell, and I don't know what happened to Richard, but Campbell is still here. So we gotta feed 2 people, and I don't know if there's gonna be that much food in here. Most of what I did find was rotten, and I could not really think eating rotten food would be good for you. Even if it did say you could eat it, it probably would not be good for you. But we did find a little bit. It wasn't a lot, but a little bit is absolutely better than nothing. Now, going back to what I said earlier, that Campbell's gun will be very good for protection, prime examples right here. That zombie literally would have bitten me if Campbell didn't shoot. So after a very, very long day 3, I decided it was finally time to get some sleep. Day 4 started out, we got a pretty decent amount of sleep for once, so that's kind of good and kind of rare. Thankfully, we picked a good house to hold up in because it had a bunch of food, which we were definitely running low on. But I did not want to stay in one place for too long. Not long after that, I heard the door shaking, so I assumed there was a zombie. So I opened the curtain to see what kind of zombie it was. And look who it is. Look who survived. Don't know how. Without a scratch. Bro is a tank. Now you might be thinking, oh my god, there's a car. That car is gonna be good. And looking at the inside of it, it makes what happens even more painful. So yeah, you know how I said Richard was a tank? Well, for some very unfortunate reason, Richard got stuck in the car. And he didn't do too good, you know. I tried to run, I tried to get him to come over here, but it didn't turn out too well for him. I was sad. I didn't want to lose Richard, but Campbell thought he could take him out with his gun. He realized that he couldn't very quickly, which is why I started running very quickly. Finally, after some time passed, me and Campbell decided to leave and try to get out of there. Maybe find a spot that had less zombies, but it was not looking that good. All the houses were full of zombies. There were zombies all over the streets. They just knew we were here, and there was nothing we could do about it. So I decided it would be a good idea to do the somewhat safe thing and hide for the night. I opened the door for Campbell, not realizing how many zombies there actually were outside. I tried to go. I had to run. I couldn't do anything with a crowbar against that many zombies. I thought Campbell was a goner, but I had to deal with the one that was in here with me first. So it was a tough zombie, I'll give it that. After everything, all those zombies, he was alive. Campbell has somehow survived the many zombies out there, because he, just like Richard before he was absolutely cooked, did not get scratched. So that was close enough of a call to make me decide that it was time to go to sleep. When I ended up waking up finally, Campbell was on watch, but it was still the middle of the night. It was still day 4, but it was around 10 o'clock. And I found a hammer, which was very useful. I didn't do much with it yet, but it's going to be very helpful. But now that it is day 5, I've made enough noise where zombies all around me have heard me. Which meant one after another, after another, after another. But after that, I decided it was probably a good idea to check the house that I broke into last night for resources. Until I got jump scared. That scared the absolute out of me, bro. Oh my god, I just died, literally. And then I went to sleep, and day 5 was over. I didn't sleep too long, unfortunately, but day 6 needed to be started quickly because it was starting to get real. So I got some food, and then I got jump scared for the second time today. Took care of them pretty easily, even though I almost got bit twice. And apparently there was one inside, and it got me. It bit me, but Campbell helped me out real quick. After that, I pretty much chilled for the rest of the day and read this book until day number 7. I had big plans for today. to go try to find a car, or at least find a car that was going to be suitable so I could repair it. So I took out these two, and then I ran into some more on the road, and this is where I started to go downhill. I literally fought until nighttime, and I was fighting through the nighttime until there was finally enough time to sleep. And almost as immediately as I hit the road again in the morning, there was another horde. I still cannot figure out how to use these pistols to save my life. Literally. And very unfortunately, I am not the only one that seems to have that problem. Now what you're about to see is 100% user error. My reaction time was doogie because it was very late, and thus, this happened. After that, not much good happened. I mean, we found Dr. Jake, but his aim was just as bad as mine, and he went down too. I was starting to think maybe if I can find enough survivors around here that we could form enough power to fight against the zombies, but there just wasn't enough. I didn't have any ammo. She got bit. We were just getting overrun before anything else could happen. It was a good run, but you know, and after 8 days, as a noob, looks like my time has run out.